So I've just had an email from a customer inquiring about an old frame that he's just picked up, and we keep our records going right back to 1946. I'm just gonna have a look for his number. It's 27598. So if we have a look up here where we keep the books, 257. All right, yep, I found it. It's up here. 2578 should be in this book. 82 72579. Concord lugs. Bike lugs used to be like really crude affairs that were just made out of sheet metal that was then pressed into a shape and then welded down the back. And all the frame building greats, they had to really learn how to file these to make them look pretty. And that's not just like filing the edges or the windows or making the curves look nicer, but actually the outside surface as well, because you'd have to remove all the weld marks and thin them down so that they weren't quite as bulky. And that's why you'll find on more basic frames they just don't bother doing this, whereas on the really nice frames they're all really thinned out, just really nice and look really good. These days we have these cast affairs which are much more consistent in how they're made, but I think they've made a lot of frame builders lazy because they don't do the filing that they used to do anymore. They basically just shot blast them and leave them as they are. But I can't do it like that. If I did it like that, Andrew would be turning in his grave. And you might have heard me mention Andrew before, but he was the frame builder that came before me at Ellis Briggs, and he's who taught me and who I gained a lot of my inspiration from. Yeah, he really taught me how to do things properly, because if you didn't do them properly, you were a cowboy or you were you were just a bodget and scarper. So if you tried to cut corners and not file things up properly or anything, you'd be in for his wrath. I've not got actually a lot of photos of him, but there's just these two that another friend of mine, Doug Fattick, who's another frame builder in the US, he gave me a couple that he took when he came over in the 70s. So you can see here there's Andrew on his own, and the other guy that Andrew with was another frame builder that used to work for us. British frames in the 1950s often had lugs that were hand cut from blanks, and that's something I still like to do today. Cut them from a blank in my own design, or this particular design is one off a sort of 1950s frame that we used to do called the International. So it needs quite a bit of work still. I've got a couple of windows to put in it, and round the back of here all needs working. But I just do it with files and also with the coping saw as well, which you can cut them out. And you start off with designs like this kind of thing, so you can do your design, print it out, and then cut it out on the lug. I see a lot of frames where they've had hand filing done on the lugs and things, and a lot of the time they just look like they've been more or less attacked with a file rather than having any sort of methodical thinning down or working of the exterior of the lug. It's really not a look that you're going for, but these things only come with practice, and you just can't get that practice without spending years and years practicing it. I wasn't expecting to receive any packages today. I haven't ordered anything. Okay, card. Oh, yes. You're probably not going to get this if you're not from Yorkshire, but I had a frame building class 2 weeks ago, and the guy was from Manchester, and I kept making him Yorkshire tea, and so he sent me that. I think they made such things, and he's written me a card as well. Let's have a look, see what this says.